All right, let's dive in. Today, we're taking a deep dive into SoFi Technologies,
SoFi Technologies, yeah.
or SoFi for those of you checking them out on your trading apps.
Right.
We've got a whole bunch of sources here for you.
Yeah.
We've got financial reports, market analysis, even some news articles. We're really trying to help you figure out,
Yeah, paint a picture.
yeah,
Yeah.
is SoFi worth your investment?
Yeah. Is this
Here,
something
like now.
that you want to put your money into?
Yeah, and you know what's so interesting about SoFi
What's that?
is that their stock has been, well, frankly, kind of crazy
Hmm?
compared to how the rest of the market's doing.
Well, it's been wild.
Yeah,
It really has.
it's been a wild ride.
Up and down. Yeah. Really its own little world. Like when the
Mhm.
market goes one way, SoFi goes the other.
Yeah.
So to really understand this, I think we had to start with like the big picture.
Yeah, totally. What was going on in the market this year?
Yeah.
And 2024, I mean, incredible year for the stock market.
Oh, yeah.
Like crazy good.
Things were great.
The S&P 500 up almost 28%.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nasdaq, oh man, the Nasdaq with all that AI stuff, it jumped like 34%.
AI craze.
Yeah, and like the analysts are saying, like this whole bull market thing, it's probably going to keep going into next year, 2025.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
What's that?
SoFi. Everyone's celebrating, champagne and confetti. SoFi is kind of like, have a tough time.
A little bit.
Their stock actually went down
Yeah.
around 29.5%
Oof.
from the beginning of the year to September. I mean, come on, that's a massive difference. Like what gives?
Yeah.
What's going on with them?
Yeah, what is going on? It's like everyone's on a rocket ship and they're stuck on the launch pad.
Yeah, you're like, what, did they miss the memo or something?
Yeah, we want to figure out, can they launch? Are they going to launch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Just before December, things started looking up.
Oh, okay.
The stock went up a bit, like 8.2%. So is this the turnaround? Are they about to take off? I mean, that's what we're trying to figure out.
We really want to know, where are they headed?
Yeah. Where's this thing going?
Yeah. And I think one of the first places we should look is their recent performance.
Yeah.
Specifically their Q3 earnings report.
Q3 earnings report. Okay.
Yeah. So their revenue, that's the money they're bringing in, right, jumped 30% compared to last year.
Wow, 30%.
Yeah, hitting $697.1 million. But here's something even more impressive, that they've achieved GAAP profitability for the fourth quarter in a row.
Okay, got to be honest, GAAP profitability kind of sounds like, financial jargon.
Yeah.
Break it down for us, regular folks. What is that?
Sure. GAAP stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's a set of rules companies use for their finances to be consistent, to be transparent. And GAAP profitability means they're actually making money. They're not just bringing in revenue, but covering all their costs and then some. And for a growing company like SoFi, that's a really big deal. Shows they're moving in the right direction, gives investors confidence, their business model, sustainable.
So they're not just like, burning through cash to grow super fast. They're actually like making real money.
We're making money.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned analysts are pretty optimistic about their future earnings too.
They are. The estimates are really good.
Yeah.
Sales could reach $2.5 billion for all of 2024. That's an 18.6% increase.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's a good chance their earnings per share, EPS, will see significant growth as well. Plus, there's something happening in the broader economy that could be really good for SoFi.
Oh, okay. What's
Yeah.
what's going on? What's this game changer?
Well, experts are saying that the Federal Reserve, they're the ones who control interest rates.
Yeah.
They're probably going to start cutting rates soon.
Okay.
And when interest rates go down, that usually means it gets cheaper for people to refinance their loans.
Okay.
Think mortgages, student loans, things like that.
And that's got to be great for SoFi, right? Because refinancing is one of their main things.
Absolutely. It's one of their biggest businesses. More people refinancing means more money for SoFi.
So it's not just about how SoFi is doing internally. It's also about, all these other things that are happening out there.
Absolutely. The external factors can play a huge role in their success.
It's like, I don't know, they're sailing a boat and they've got to pay attention to the wind and the current,
I like that. I like that analogy. Now, while numbers are important, their growth strategy isn't all about crunching numbers, right?
Right.
They've been really laser focused on growing their user base, and they just hit a major milestone.
Correct.
10 million members.
10 million members. That's a lot of people. What's the big deal about having so many members? Why is that so important?
Well, think of it this way. Each member is a potential customer for multiple SoFi products. They're not just a bank or a lender. They offer all sorts of financial products, loans, banking, investing, even insurance.
Oh, so they're going for that one-stop shop kind of thing.
Exactly. Make it easy for people, right?
Yeah.
One place for all their financial needs.
Yeah.
And that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Because it's what we call a cross-selling strategy.
That's cross-selling.
Yeah. You acquire a customer with one product, say a personal loan, and then what do?
You try to sell them something else.
You offer them other products.
Okay.
Checking account, investment advice, and that's key for growth because it increases customer lifetime value and revenue per user.
Okay. Let's unpack that for a sec.
Yeah.
What exactly do those terms mean? Like, why do investors care so much about those things?
Okay, yeah. So customer lifetime value, that's the total amount of money a company expects to make from a customer over their entire relationship with the company.
Right.
So if someone joins SoFi for a loan and ends up using all their other products for years,
Yeah.
their lifetime value is much higher than someone who just takes out a loan and disappears.
Okay. That makes sense.
Revenue per user, on the other hand, that's simpler.
Okay.
It's just the average amount of revenue generated per customer.
Okay.
The higher these numbers are, the more profitable the business is likely to be, or sustainable.
So basically, the more services that SoFi can get their members to use,
Yes.
the more money they can make from each member over time, which makes investors happy, right? It's all starting to connect here.
It is.
And I know they've been pretty busy launching new products and partnerships to make this happen.
Oh, yeah. They have not been sitting still.
Yeah.
For example, they partnered with BlackRock, the giant investment management company,
Wycrock, yeah?
to launch a robo-advisor platform.
Yeah.
So now they can offer automated investment advice and portfolio management. Makes investing more accessible, more affordable.
It's like having a personal financial advisor right in your pocket.
Yeah. You got it. And they didn't stop there. They also teamed up with a company called Templum to offer access to private market funds. This is a big deal, opens up a whole new world of investment opportunities, things that used to be only for, the super wealthy,
Oh, okay.
now available to SoFi members.
So they're not just trying to, play in the same sandbox as the traditional banks.
Yeah.
They're trying to, shake things up,
They are disruptors.
change the whole game.
Yeah, they really are.
And this innovative approach is what's got a lot of people excited about SoFi's potential.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. But we also got to look at the other side of the coin here, right?
Base.
To really figure out, is this stock a good buy? Got to look at the charts.
This technical side of things.
The technicals, yeah. So what are the technical indicators telling us? Where is SoFi headed?
All right, so let's get into those technicals.
Okay.
One of the things that we always look at is something called a moving average. Imagine you're tracking SoFi's stock price every single day, and then you smooth it out, right?
Yeah.
Calculate the average price, maybe over 50 days, 200 days, something like that.
Okay.
That's your moving average. It helps us see the overall trend. Where's the stock price going?
Okay, so how do we use these moving averages to, get a read on SoFi? What does it tell us?
Okay, so right now, SoFi is trading above both its 50-day and its 200-day moving average.
Okay.
That's usually a good sign. Suggests the stock has upward momentum. The bulls are in control.
So wait, bulls.
Yeah,
Those are the people who think the stock's going to go up.
exactly. They're the optimistic ones.
Okay.
Now, the bears, on the other hand,
Yeah.
they're the pessimists. They think the stock's going to go down.
So it's like a battle between the bulls and the bears.
It is. You got it.
And right now it sounds like the bulls are winning, with SoFi at least.
Yeah, you could say that. But the market is complex, right? There's a lot of signals. So while SoFi is above its 50-day and 200-day moving averages, it's actually trading below its 50-day moving average.
Wait, so it's above its 200-day, but below its 50-day. How's that even possible?
Think of it like a short-term dip within a longer-term upward trend, like a speed bump on a hill.
Okay.
So that 50-day moving average, that's more sensitive to recent changes, while that 200-day, that shows you the longer term.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's not like a total green light, bullish signal, but still some positive momentum over the long haul.
Right.
Okay. Any other technical indicators we should be paying attention to?
Yeah, there's one more I want to mention. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI.
RSI.
Measures the size of recent price changes to see if a stock is overbought or oversold.
Hold on. Overbought and oversold. What does that even mean?
Think of it like a rubber band.
Okay.
If you stretch it too far, what happens?
It's going to break.
It snaps back. Same thing with stocks. If a stock goes up too fast, it might be overbought, due for a correction, meaning it could drop. But if it goes down too sharply,
Yeah.
it could be oversold. And then it's poised for a rebound.
Okay, so where's SoFi on this whole, like, rubber band scale?
Well, SoFi's RSI right now is sitting around 44.89.
Okay.
Usually 30 or below, that's oversold territory.
Okay.
And above 70, that's overbought. So SoFi, not quite oversold, but it's getting there, which could mean there's some upward potential.
Interesting. So we got mixed signals here from the technical indicators, right? Some bullish, some bearish. It's almost like SoFi's at a crossroads. We're not quite sure which way they're going to go.
Yeah.
What are the experts saying? Are they feeling optimistic or pessimistic about this whole thing?
It's a mixed bag, to be honest.
Okay.
Some analysts, they're recommending a buy, especially if SoFi can hold steady above its support level. You can think of that like a floor, stops it from falling further.
Okay.
And if it breaks through a key resistance level, that's like a ceiling, right? Yeah. That's been holding the price down.
Okay. So if they break through that ceiling, they could be on their way up.
Exactly. A nice climb. But of course, not everyone agrees.
Right.
There are also some analysts who are saying hold means if you already own SoFi shares,
Yeah.
you might want to keep them for now, but don't buy more.
Okay.
They're saying, let's wait and see what happens, get some more evidence before we get too excited.
So they're playing it safe, waiting for more clarity.
They are. But then there's the third group.
Yeah, those are the ones who are like, get out, sell, sell, sell.
Yeah, there are definitely some who are saying sell. They're more cautious. They're worried about the downside risk. You know, what if the stock drops?
Yeah.
They think there might be better opportunities out there.
So it sounds like we've got this, like, tug of war going on here between the optimists and the pessimists. It's kind of hard to make sense of it all.
But that's what makes this deep dive so interesting. We're looking at it from all angles, trying to put the pieces together.
Exactly. And speaking of missing pieces, there are a couple of things in these sources that I thought were really interesting. Like Morgan Stanley, the big investment bank.
Yeah.
They recently raised their price target for SoFi.
Okay.
Which means they think the stock could go higher than they originally thought.
That sounds like good news.
It is. But here's the catch. Even though they raised the price target, they're still keeping an underweight rating on SoFi.
What? So they think it could go up, but they're not really that bullish.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
It is a little bit. But they explained their reasoning.
Okay.
They said that delinquency rates are stabilizing, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, means fewer people are falling behind on their loans.
Exactly. And they also said that they expect continued economic support, which could help with consumer confidence and spending.
So they see some good things, but not enough to like fully jump on board.
Right. They're dipping their toes in the water, but not ready to dive in head first.
Okay, I get it.
And then there was another interesting little detail about a leadership change at SoFi.
Oh, yeah, the new leader for their Hong Kong brand.
Yeah, Annie Luck.
Right, Annie Luck.
And this move really signals their commitment to growing their business internationally.
Expanding into new markets could be a big opportunity for them, especially in Asia.
Exactly. So we've got a lot to think about, right?
We do.
Strong performance, but not always consistent.
Right.
Big growth plans.
Ambitious.
Mixed signals from the technicals and the analysts.
A lot of different opinions out there.
Yeah. And now this whole international expansion.
A lot to digest.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But hey, that's why we're doing this deep dive.
That's right.
We've laid it all out for you, all the evidence, the different viewpoints, the key factors. Now it's up to you to decide what it all means for you as an investor.
What are your goals? What's your risk tolerance? Do you believe in SoFi's vision?
Right. Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, doesn't it?
It does.
Is SoFi the right investment for you?
And to help you figure that out, we're going to wrap things up with some bigger picture questions. Things that the sources didn't really address directly, but could really make or break your investment case.
Ooh, I like that. Bring on the big questions. Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here on SoFi, right? Their financials, their strategies, all the stuff going on in the market. But as we're going through these sources, I started, thinking about a few things that weren't really directly addressed, like things that could really make a difference in whether SoFi makes it or not.
Yeah, sometimes those are the most important questions, right? The ones that aren't obvious in the data.
Yeah, totally. So one thing that kept coming up for me is, like, how crowded is this space? They're not the only ones trying to, disrupt the whole financial services world.
Oh, absolutely not. It's a very competitive landscape. You've got the traditional banks, the big guys, they've been around forever. They're not going to just, roll over and let SoFi take over. And then you have all these new fintech startups. They all want a piece of the pie.
It's like a giant scrum, right? Everyone fighting for market share. So how does SoFi stand out? What makes them special?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to have, big goals and ambitions, but it's another thing to actually pull it off. To carve out a space for yourself, that's sustainable. I think to really get a sense of SoFi's long-term prospects, we need to dig into their competitive advantages. What are they doing that others aren't? Do they have some amazing tech platform or a really loyal customer base, a brand that people love?
Oh, it's not enough to be a disruptor. You got to be like a better disruptor.
Yeah.
Find that thing that sets you apart.
Exactly. And then another thing I've been thinking about is, well, interest rates.
Yeah.
We talked about how those rate cuts could be great for their refinancing business, but what if they don't go down? What if they stay high or even go up?
Ooh, yeah, that's a scary thought. Higher interest rates mean, higher borrowing costs for everyone. That could really hurt their lending business, couldn't it?
It could, because SoFi's success depends partly on their ability to offer good loan rates, right? Competitive rates. But if rates keep going up, it might get harder and harder to attract borrowers. And if fewer people are taking out loans, that means less money coming in. It's a tricky situation.
It's a balancing act for sure, like they're walking a tightrope.
Yeah. And there's another layer of uncertainty we got to think about. Regulations.
All right.
Fintech is a new industry, relatively speaking, and the rules are always changing.
Yeah, who knows what kind of new regulations could pop up that could really affect their business.
Right. Governments everywhere are still figuring out how to regulate these new financial companies. Will SoFi face more scrutiny? Will they have to deal with new rules that increase their costs? These are all big unknowns.
Like sailing in uncharted territory.
Exactly. You never know what you might run into. And then there's the tech side of things. SoFi is a tech company at its core. They rely on data, AI, automation, but tech moves so fast. What if they fall behind?
Yeah, it's like a constant race to innovate, right? If they can't keep up, they're in trouble.
They need to be flexible, adaptable, pushing the limits. And I think most importantly, we have to ask ourselves, what is SoFi's vision? Like, what's the big picture? What are they really trying to do here?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. It's not just about, profits and numbers. It's about their impact, what they're bringing to the table.
Exactly. Are they just in it for the money, or is there a deeper purpose? Do they really want to change how we manage our finances, make these services more affordable and accessible for everyone? If you understand their vision, that can tell you a lot about their potential.
So, we started with this basic question. Is SoFi a buy?
Yeah.
And we've ended up with a whole new set of questions. Questions about competition, interest rates, regulation, tech, their overall purpose. It's a lot.
It is, but that's the beauty of a deep dive, right? It's not about finding the easy answer. It's about digging in, challenging your assumptions, asking the tough questions.
It's about becoming a better investor, more informed, more aware. And that's what we hope we've helped you do today. We've given you the information, the insights, the tools to figure out if SoFi is right for you.
Yeah, do your research, weigh the pros and cons, and decide if SoFi aligns with your goals, your risk tolerance.
Remember, the financial world is never static.
Yeah.
It's always changing, evolving. SoFi's story is still being written, and the next chapter could be amazing.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into SoFi technologies.
And until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep investing wisely.